Well then.
Yay! Uh-oh.
What? What the fuck? What is happening? I see an annoying running what? Okay, hang on. Sorry, we've taken a small break, so I have to like readjust to the death and the whatever the fuck that was on the title screen.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I don't know, play the game.
I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is whatever the fuck that's supposed to be. My neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making to... Why are we doing this again?
I don't know.
It just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I'd get tired of waiting up. But she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me. What the fuck?
It's an ordinary school day, like any other.
What just happened? Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking. Are we in her head?
No.
Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself that it's time to meet some girl. What the fuck? I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just by getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. True shit. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I start blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be too demanding for me to want to deal with anyway. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club.
Smart.
What? Monica?
Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. I don't trust you, bitch. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class, smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for anyway?
I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers?
I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right?
How about that? I actually quit the debate club.
Really? You quit?
Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it.
In that case, what club did you decide to join?
Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club.
Literature? Sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far?
It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring.
Well, I can see that.
But it's really not boring at all, you know. Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. And one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the clubroom.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right?
Did Monica say she?
Hey, Smart, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join?
I mean, I guess so, but...
In that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but... you could at the very least visit my club. It would really make me happy. Please?
Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out.
Ah, awesome! You're really sweet, Smart, you know that?
It's nothing really.
Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important.
I'm scared. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for the third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door.
Swing. I'm back.
I'm scared.
And I brought a guest with me.
No.
Eh? A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. Anyway, welcome to the club, Smarf.
Is it Natsuki or Natsuki? Because you keep changing it.
I don't know. I'm not Japanese.
Okay. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls.
So let me guess. You're Monika's boyfriend, right?
What? No, I'm not.
Natsuki.
The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year.
Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you.
Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you.
So, I ran into Smarf in a classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monika, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. Didn't forget that, I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Smarf?
The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet.
Rocket!
Meanwhile, Monika and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monika.
So I know you didn't really plan on coming here. Oh, Rocket, I'm going to kill you. But we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone.
I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club.
You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting in all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess.
Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monika must have worked really hard to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. Keep a whole tea set in the classroom?
Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book?
I guess.
Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not...
Insulted, Yuri looks away.
I meant that, you know.
I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea.
I'm glad.
Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief.
So, Smarf, what kind of things do you like to read?
Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I feel like I'm in deja vu. I've been to this space before. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet.
Not much of a reader, I guess.
Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri?
Well, let's see.
Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger.
My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds, like Discworld. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me.
Fucking Discworld.
Telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive.
Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment you walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people.
But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how the writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot about horror lately.
I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock.
Can you smell what the rock is cooking?
The joke wasn't funny the first time. It's never going to be funny. Stop it.
I didn't tell it the first time. This is the first time I've told it.
No, you told it before.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Why's that? Well, I just...
Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second.
Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind after the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give that back! Fine, fine, you're loud.
I am. Natsuki, you write your own poems?
I guess sometimes. Why do you care?
I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime?
No!
Natsuki averts her eyes.
You wouldn't like them.
Huh, not a very confident writer yet.
I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence.
It's a coincidence that you're talented.
The truest form of writing is written to oneself.
The truest.
You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your breasts and vulnerabilities and showing you the deepest reaches of your heart.
I wasn't reading along, so that caught me off guard.
Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers.
I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Someone got a message.
Until you got a goddamn message. Hey, I just got an idea.
Was it me or you?
How about this? It was you.
Shit.
Kidding me?
Huh? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika.
Quiz.
Let's all go home and write a poem of our own.
Then next we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take the responsibility of vice president, after all. I need to do my best to nurture this club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member... Shut up, Rocket. You agree as well, Smarf?
Hold on, there's still one problem.
Smarf is a nickname for our dog, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's that?
Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monika, may have convinced me to stop by, but I've never made any decisions. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes.
But... I'm sorry, I thought...
Eh? The girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me.
I guess I needed to tell you the truth, Smarf. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. If we don't find one more before the festival...
I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems prettier relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up.
Bang, bang, bang.
Oh
my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Smarf?
Yeah. Rocket agrees. It could be fun, right?
You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all of this, I would be super pissed. Smarf, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay?
Thanks, I guess.
Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share.
Monika looks over at me once more.
Smarf, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself.
With my dick out. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then.
How come when I make crappy dick jokes, I get in trouble, but when you make crappy dick jokes, you just make crappy dick jokes and get away with it?
Because I'm a lady.
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait.
With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the three girls. Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess I'll start with writing a poem tonight.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you read this.
No, you read it.
No.
Things I like about Papa. I like when Papa comes home early. I like when Papa cooks me dinner. I like when Papa gives me allowance. I like when Papa spends time with me. I like when Papa asks me about my friends. I like when Papa asks me about anything. I like when Papa gives me lunch money. I like when Papa comes home before sundown. I like when Papa cooks. I like when Papa gives me privacy. I like when Papa doesn't tell me how to dress. I like when Papa doesn't comment on my friends. I like when Papa doesn't comment on my hobbies. I like when Papa comes home without waking me up. I like when Papa keeps food in the house. I like when Papa uses his inside voice. I like when Papa leaves my stuff alone. I like when Papa accidentally drops coins in the couch. I like when Papa is too tired to notice me. I like when Papa is too tired for anything. I like when Papa is too tired for anything.
I don't like how the end of that poem was. That's really concerning. Okay.
Scars. Tears? Has she just taken over all the sad shit?
I guess. Yes. Yeah, that seems like it.
Rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. Boop. Wait, who are you going for?
I don't know anymore.
Just do shit.
There we go. I think I got more of purple this time around.
Hi again, Smarf.
Hello, Rocket.
Yay, Rocket. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. It's you.
Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I guess I was last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Smarf.
I hate this game.
I hope this isn't too overwhelming a commitment for you.
I'm scared.
Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it?
What the fuck? Oh my god!
Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monika.
Is the computer haunted now?
I don't know if you just plan to come by here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then we won't let you see the end of it. Or then you won't see the end of it.
Nah.
See, you maintain a big mouth for somebody who keeps a manga collection in the club room. Manga?
Natsuki are so stuck between saying Monika and manga.
Manga is literature!
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back to her seat.
Quit playing with a dog. I'm sorry, Smarf. Make sure you put your comfort first, okay?
Yuri shoots Natsuki with disappointment glance.
Anyway. Now that you're at the club and all, perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read.
Well, I can't really say no either. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it only feels right to do something like that, if you ask.
Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess.
Oh no, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try and be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to.
Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like.
Was she not vice president the first time around?
No.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Quit fucking with me. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out. I picked up a book that I thought you might enjoy, and that will stop Rocket from plummeting to his doom. The short read that will keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted.
How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. Enthusiastically took the book.
Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her tense expression, like she's waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I'd feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, it seems like she seems to be on the first few pages.
Huh?
Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. That only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry. I'm just spacing out. I muttered this sensing I made her uncomfortable.
Well, it's fine. I was more focused than I probably noticed the first place.
Why is there a line?
I'm just rereading a bit of this, so...
Why are her eyes moving? What the fuck?
That's you.
That's the book you gave me, right?
Uh-huh. Just wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason.
What the fuck? Just curious, how come your eyes are moving farther apart? Scaring me. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book?
Well, when I stopped by the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant, Rocket.
Oh, little shit muffin.
I mean... I was happened to buy two of them.
All I wanted to do is squeak toys all day, but nobody will fucking let me. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. Did that line mean she's gonna be decapitated?
I honestly don't know. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down.
You might have to throw the toy to get him to...
It's a very engaging and relatable story.
Is that so? What's the story about anyway?
Well...
I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover.
Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison, and the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it.
I bet you are.
The book, I mean. Not the thing about limbs.
It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere.
You're not a fan of that sort of thing, Smurf?
No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just that this kind of story... it kind of challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway.
Oh god.
And suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. I feel like I should let you know I have this problem. When things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people.
Do you?
So I'm sorry if I end up saying anything strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. Least I can do is listen. It's all literature club after all.
Alright. That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading, right?
Yes.
I don't like these sudden movements.
I mean, you don't have to, but...
What are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine. If it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to.
Are you just gonna pull my hair every time?
Yes. Hair. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Oh, alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just bathing in the feeling of your body heat.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do?
I am frightened.
I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk up until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way it turns the page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
I don't want to stop looking at me.
Just turn the page.
Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. That's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it on my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb.
Oh.
Hey Yuri, this might be silly, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
Huh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not.
Really? I was just thinking the way she second-guesses things she says and all that.
Uh-huh. That's what you were talking about? Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her.
Something else?
Never mind. You didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head.
Yuri, are you feeling alright?
Eh?
Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little...
My breathing?
Yuri puts her hand on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. Ow!
I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water.
Alright, don't push yourself. What the fuck is happening? Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about?
Smart? What happened just now?
Eh? I couldn't understand you through that fucking sneeze. I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess.
So you don't know anything?
Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her?
Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her.
Bitch, I was reading. No, nothing.
Don't worry, I believe you, silly.
You...
Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming.
You are cray-cray. Alright, if you say so.
Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other?
No. Shouldn't we wait for Yuri?
Well, she might be a while, so I figured we'd just start without her. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was just asking. The fuck? I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag.
Natsuki.
I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first.
Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you.
That's a little blunt.
Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotion.
So basically it's not cute enough for your tastes?
Do you want to get smacked?
Yes. Now, I'll pass.
Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can see, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it.
Boo.
Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I don't. I like it. I lied.
What? Just be honest.
It was garbage. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But that isn't the point of poems, to express themselves. Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. That was you.
Oh, my bad.
It's like, it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like this poem. Uh-oh.
You're taunting them.
Rocket. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
The other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like when I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then I made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling of the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something from my one tooth. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, huh?
No, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her.
Monika.
Why do I even get a choice? Like,
Hi, Smarf.
what a bitch.
Having a good time so far?
No. Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things that we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Smarf. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But if that's sort of barrier, we'll have to all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem.
Mm-hmm. Great job, Smarf. I was going ooh in my head the whole time while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. Oh my god. Guess I underestimated you, Rocket.
It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put some effort in.
That's not very fair.
Well, I guess it worked anyway.
You know, Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just detached from reality. Doesn't mean like that's a bad thing, though. Rocket, why must you squeak? Quit!
But sometimes I get the impression that she's totally giving up on people. She spends so much time on her own head, that's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's just why she gets happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness.
I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must really be starved for social interactions. Don't blame her for coming on a little strong. Like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for some alone time.
Suddenly the door opens.
Yuri!
I'm back.
I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more than glad you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monika. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident.
That was him.
For someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? He'll run in here and start squeaking.
I see. Well, let's read it then.
But he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glance at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing in my fears, I brandish my pen. So, what do you think?
It's very freeform, if that's what you want to call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay. That kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. Because a lot of people have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and then tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Hang on. Let's, we're running a tad long here. Let's,
Oh, farts.
let's do that some other time. Yeah.